The Gospel of the day tells us that it was the fourth watch in the night when the apostles' boat was being tossed about by the waves as the wind was against it. Well, that's only the first part of the story. And it is precisely at that time, we are told, that Jesus comes walking on those very waters towards his apostles. My dear sisters and brothers, the fourth watch of the night referred to in the Gospel of the day roughly translates to 3 a.m. in the morning. And you and I know something about this 3 a.m. in the morning, that sense of fear, that sense of loneliness that we experience. When you can't sleep at night and you are lying awake all by yourself, 3 a.m. in the morning is a time when you toss about worrying about what life holds for you. When you are waiting for someone to come home and it is 3 a.m. in the morning, it is nail-biting time. Or when you expect a phone call or hear a knock at the door and actually the phone rings for you, 3 a.m. in the morning is palm-sweating time. All of us have been there sometime or other. That is a time when even physical pain seems to be so very intense. When you are ill and lie awake, your whole body hurting, 3 a.m. is a time when you really sweat it out, wondering how on earth you would wake up in the morning and face yet another day. All of us are in this feeling of being at 3 a.m. in the morning. Some of us emotionally, maybe because of a strain in the relationship. For others, it may be in an ethical sense, when the whole world lies fast asleep. 3 a.m. may be the time when temptation becomes very hard to resist. For others, we may find ourselves at 3 a.m. in an ecclesiastical sense, worried about our congregation and parishioners, worried about the church being dry and empty, wondering whether parishioners are going to return to church when the pandemic is over. Or still others in our nation, it may be 3 a.m. in a political sense, with our gaze towards Georgia or towards Washington, D.C. Confusion or clarity, it depends how you look and who looks at the so-called reality. And so we know the meaning of this fear, sense of fear of 3 a.m. But this is the good news, that it is precisely when we find ourselves gripped with that fear that we experience at 3 a.m., that Christ comes walking on those very waters that we are afraid of, reassuring us, telling us that all is okay, that all will be okay, because we are with him and he is with us. And so, as we go through this Eucharist, let's pray for those that in our families are sick, for whom this 3 a.m. becomes very painful. Let's also remember those that are lonely and are anxious, for those that have lost their jobs and are wondering how to put food on the table or how to foot the bills. And for others that may be wondering how they could catch up with their work and complete their projects. Whatever it be the reason why we find ourselves at 3 a.m., let's remember that Christ is actually the Lord of the waters that we fear so very much. And he comes walking over those waters towards us to be with us. And so, let's take the Lord into the board of our life, and all will be well.